What is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're diving into the 10-star against Jumanji, Sanji, and Judge. Kizuna Clash is coming, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some EXP Momo teams. Now, if you guys have been around the channel, you guys know that I do love Marco when it comes to these 10-star events, especially when it's on a super boss, because you want to be doing as many assists as possible and utilizing the suicide trap. Well, we have a new EXP king. His name is Momo. So in today's video, I will be putting together some Momo teams for you guys. But once you get to the end of the video, there will be a card. I'll try and include it right here as well, in the top of the screen for the Marco teams. I will still do Marco teams, and then I'll do some one team versus alls as well, and hopefully have them ready to go for you guys. Now, these teams are obviously subject to change. As always, we are just going off the information provided, as you can see on the screen. Thanks to the Twitter, OPTC Twitter. Thank you so much for the information. We do appreciate this. But they are subject to change for two reasons. Because once I can be a spoon, and I can stuff up and miss some stuff, but that's what the playthrough videos are for. And two, sometimes they stuff up and the information isn't correct. But with that said, let's take a look at the teams and let's dive into the content. Enjoy the video. Bell the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Let's dive in. Alright, so the first variation is against the Dex variation, and the team looks a little bit like this. We are running double Momo, of course. Powerhouse shooters and strikers get all the good stuff. On stage 2, there's unfavorable slots and defense up for 5 turns. On the final stage, there's full immunity to everything except for poison, damage reduction, or threshold over a certain amount by 5 turns, 5 turns of paralysis, block orbs, and 1 turn of special reverse. After level 31, which most of the time you guys won't see because of the suicide trap, but this team should clear that. After level 31, there is an attack down if you're below a 2.5 times chain multiplier. There's an intimidation for a chain multiplicative boost for -1 turn at 5 turns. Extra turn of paralysis, and if an extra turn of threshold, and if you use a chain lock, your top and middle row get blown away for 10 turns. So the team looks like this. We are running double Momo, of course. We have the Cat Viper support on Momo to help out with some threshold. We are using Zoro to get around threshold here too. You don't actually need the Cat Viper. I just want to show you guys some options for some supports here. But Zoro has double special activation, that's 4 turns of threshold. Then you have the Chopper support for 6 turns. And then you also have stuff like Cat Viper, which can help you out with 1 turn there. And you can use some other supports if you guys have them. I think I just sort of left Cat Viper on now that I'm actually looking at it. But on stage 2, to get around the unfavorable slots, we're just going to switch with Odin and Toki. And then we're going to switch with Carrot Wanda. This team doesn't get cooldowns for the fights, except for Zoro. Zoro's the only character that does. Momo gives 2 turns of cooldown at the start of the fight. So with 2 Momos, you're looking at 4 turns, 2 with your sockets, 1 with your ship, 1 on the interrupt on entry, and we're already looking at 8 turns of cooldowns just off rip. You kill the first stage, you go into the next turn with a, what's it called? A preemptive, and now you're looking at 10 turns, and then the same thing. So you get 12 turns of cooldowns by the final stage. However, this particular fight has special reverse, and that's why I brought Carrot Wanda here. Carrot Wanda basically are going to start with their special, because they're on a 3-turn cooldown with Limit Break expansion. And this particular team kind of only works if you do have them Limit Break expanded. So I would highly recommend doing that if you guys don't already have that done. But the idea here is to use them on stage 2. That is going to get around the defense up, and then they're also going to have an attack boost. Odin and Toki give them an orb boost. They're going to hit very, very hard on that particular stage. And you're going to easily kill there. They'll get their special back by the final stage, thanks to the Brûlée support, and then they can actually give you the special reverse as well, which works out nicely. Bonnie we're going to use on stage 2 as well. She has an ability that gives you 5 turns of a chain boost, so you don't have to worry about the intimidation. And as long as you hit 3 perfects, I believe, you get a chain boundary for the final stage. If she had cooldowns, you'd also get the extra buff, but look, it's not meant to be for poor old Bonnie. As I mentioned, Zora's going to remove the threshold, and then Odin and Toki are the color affinity booster, as well as the what's it called, the resistance buff for the team as well. So they also trigger Momo's ability to give us 1 orbs. Momo triggers at the start of the fight, so you have an attack boost with Momo. You don't even need his special, and we're pretty much good to go there. So that's the first team against the Dex variation. On to the Quick now. Strength, Dex, and Quick get all the good stuff. On stage 2, you have an attack down if you're below a 3.0 chain multiplier, and you also get paralysis orbs. On the final stage, there's full immunity except for poison, burn for 5 turns, unfavorable slots. Your captain gets 8 turns of despair, which will go down to 5 after sockets, and you can't use a color affinity boost, otherwise you lose all your positive effects. On defeat, there's a 25% revive, and then you get a swapped captain to a crewmate for 5 turns, so any of your crewmates can become captains. And then after level 31, you get 5 turns of paralysis, an extra turn of burn, and then an extra turn of despair on your captain. So, once again, double Momo. We have some burn removing supports, which is nice and fun. But on stage 2, to get around this, we're just going to use the Kizaru special. Kizaru gives you a 3.25 chain lock. He also removes paralysis, so you get full bottle orbs. It works out super hunky-dory. But you can also use Sabo. Sabo's another really, really good option. He works fantastically. But Sabo works better on the final stage because he removes burn. And the chain boundary is just better than the chain lock, so it's just the way it is. On the final stage, you have Sabo to remove the paralysis. He's going to remove 5 turns of burn. You have the what's it called? The chopper support to get around the extra burn there. Luffy can give you quite a big orb boost for this team. But you also have Robin Koala. Now, Robin Koala are a 3-turn orb booster, which is going to work a little bit nicer, because that way you can actually get an orb boost for the revive. You can't use color affinity here, so that's what makes Robin Koala so good as well. You can super swap with them. That's going to give you color affinity, and then you can either use their special to get the extending of the color affinity, or their clock buff to get the color affinity on the next turn. Remember, Momo's giving you an attack boost every single turn. He's also got Wano orbs thanks to having Luffy on the team, so that way you can access his super type, and you can just extend that attack boost for literally eternity. The team should have no issues whatsoever. To get around the despair, we have Luffy. Luffy just removes tons of despair there. He also gives you tandem slots if you want those for the final stage instead, to try and get the super tandem with Momo. But that's really only going to be if you're like level 5 Momo and you're going to be doing some weird shit there. But team looks quite nice. Robin Koala is probably the only one that people are going to be like, damn, I don't have that unit. And for that, you just sort of want to bring color affinity, I guess. But team looks quite nice. Let's move on to the final fight. The final fight is actually against Int, so Momo shines here. Fighter, Free Spirit, and Powerhouse characters get all the good stuff. On stage 2, there's 5 turns of special bite and block slots. On the final stage, there's full immunity except for poison. As you can see, like, they want you to use the new Reiju. 90% HP cut, which is very annoying. A slot change to poison slots. 8 turns of despair, which go down to 5 after sockets. 5 turns of resilience, and if you use end of turn damage, you lose all your beneficial effects, and you get 10 turns of slot bind. Also, if you recover HP, you take 200,000 damage. Is that 200,000? That's nuts. 200,000 damage. There's a barrier for 10 combo hits. And then when you defeat the enemy, you take 15,000 damage. After level 31, you get 1 turn of special rest. Resilience goes up by 2 turns, and there's an extra turn of despair. So, very annoying stuff for this final stage. But we have some pretty good units to help us get around some of this nasty shenaniganry. Momo, once again, he has the Wano orb at the start. He's just going to pop his special. You can just carry it through to the final stage. He should honestly, like, just kill stage 2, so you don't even really need Sabo and Ace. Sabo and Ace, they can be your orb booster. They rotate block orbs. They remove special bind as well. It works out super hunky-dory there. Nami is going to be your chain booster and your base stat booster. Super nice. She also gives you 1 turn of cooldown. Ivankov and Bon Clay are going to be end-of-turn healing, as well as removing despair and poison, so that way you get around the poison slots. And then finally, we have Gear 5 Luffy just for a bit of flex, and having a Luffy unit on the team for both Sabo and Ace and Momo's super type as well. He's just a color affinity booster. You can literally use like the Film Red Luffy. That's also going to work. And all these teams should do quite nicely, at least up to level 31. Like, at least up to level 31 is basically where you're going to see most of the play for these teams. Remember, these are assist teams. I wouldn't be using them for your own runs, because you really want to try and bring a Reiju friend captain for that. But they were the Momo teams. If you guys weren't lucky enough to pull Momo, don't stress. I will have Marco teams out for you guys. But if you guys want some booster teams, they'll be out as well. But if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. If you guys do want to check out the Momo teams, hit the video on screen. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.